Video on connecting that Sonoff switch that I used on my garage and to control my fuel pump and other things in my van. You pretty much use that thing for anything, but I'm going to use it to unlock and lock. Now you can either wire it directly to the actuators, but your alarm's still going to go off. There's a way to do this, I'm sure, if I really sat down with the alarm. I have a Encore E3. I'm sure the Vipers are the same. The Viper remote's probably a lot easier, but I went cheap on this using my what's her face? I don't want to say because she'll hear me call her name. Using my version of the Alexa car, whatchamacallit, security system. I've already taken the screws out.
Maybe the skill.
A small screwdriver. Same thing as changing the batteries. This particular remote has two 3-volt batteries in series, as you can see. That's 6 volts. But what you also want to do...
Maybe the skill. Smart Things ADT can help.
Hold on.
Do you want to try it?
No. I hate her. That's why I don't want to say her name, but I guess I said her name. So now, always check the voltage. I'm gonna see, as you can see, my fluke here is registering 6 volts. Probably not exactly 6 volts. Now, I'm pretty sure this thing will run off of 5. I already have a 5-volt supply. You can get one. I'll post it in the link on the bottom here. So now I got that off. I'm gonna take this off. I'm pretty much probably just gonna electrical tape and board this thing. There's no reason to keep the transponder in there, or the whole thing. And also, you want to keep it out of view for those thieves. But this is just so I can use my voice and use my phone to unlock and lock her when I want to. So when you pull this thing out, you want to make a couple observations. Let's start with the bottom. It says plus right here. So this is your ground, and when you actually put this together, that plus is touching right there. So you need a wire right here and right here. Plus, minus. Plus on the big one, minus on the even bigger one. So now I want to wire. Well, see, there are two things I've noticed with this transponder. It has this little button here, which from what I understand locks and then will unlock it. It's both. Or I can lock and then unlock, either or. Whichever way you want to go, right? Either I could do 2 relays or 1. I like the idea of this because it's just a straight toggle. So what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to put you on pause. I'm going to test this real quick. I'll be right back. I have concluded that bottom button is exactly what I said. It's more of a silent lock and silent unlock. I'm going to do that because with that extra relay, I mean, this thing's got 4 relays. And I wired my horn separate. The horn, I used a TP-Link switch, and I have a video on that. But then that was before this thing was even out, and then I discovered this thing. I'm like, oh, this thing runs off at 9 to like 30 volts or whatever the hell it is. So I got speaker wire here. Don't laugh. That's all I got. Just laying around in the garage. And I personally, actually, this is probably from the old owner. It's just hanging here. Oh yeah, this is probably... fuck it. I'm just going to stick with my speaker wire. It's tied up on the garage. I don't know what the hell it is. Oh, before we even start, so you got your meter. Put it in ohms. Omega is the symbol. Think of Leo. Now what we want to do is we want to figure out how the switch works. Chances are there's 4 points on the switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's nothing on the back. You can see where the board is printed, but if I put my meter on these 2 leads, I get 2 ohms. If I put my meter on these 2 leads, I get 2 ohms. That's these 2, these 2. Now, if I put my meter This is going to be very hard to do. I'm going to put my meter right here next to each other on the exact opposite sides. And I'm going to see what it connects. Because chances are, I mean, they're connected straight across. So when I push, fuck man, this is annoying. Okay, so I'm going to use this to push the button. Hear that? So pretty much going from here to here is always connected. One thing I didn't check though, so I'm gonna do, you hear that? When I push the button, let's see what happens. Yeah, those are always connected. Now, when you go bottom to top on the switch, which I'm going to test one more time, because I always like to be very thorough. Yeah. Bottom to top connects, and then also, let me check. I did it diagonally. So, you realistically on this switch, what I did is I tested these 2 points. Top, top, bottom, bottom. 2 ohms, 2 ohms, which means that it's closed. When you push the switch down, those 2 points are still closed, but then it connects, it'll connect the bottom to the top, bottom to the top. Ergo, you just need to connect one side. Soldering these components are a pain in the ass. Now, I got my Dremel here. And apparently I don't have any solder. Now, who the hell took my solder? Well, that sucks. I will be back. Okay, so because I didn't have solder yesterday, we had to continue this video here at the office. This wire is going to be better. It's a harness. Actually, no. Let's use a different wire. I got different colors and everything here. We're going to use red and black for power, and then we're going to use yellow for the switch. But what I'd like to do, I cut even lengths. You can get this on Amazon as well. Probably don't need this much wire unless you're actually into doing this kind of stuff. I like to make sure that we have equal lengths. Someone took my wire strippers out of my room here. That's fine. I can operate without wire strippers. So now on these, we're going to use yellow for the switch. I hope we have enough for the last yellow. Remember, we're only doing one. On your remote, depending on if it's the same one, you only need one. But if it's not the same one, you're gonna need 2 for an unlock and lock. Now, there's that. Okay. So first things first. You gotta strip your wires. Now, I don't know what I said. This one's positive. You can see that on the remote side. Plus, and then we're going to do negative. I'm just going to do it right here on the negative terminal. Just put a big blob right there. Tin your wires. Let's see. I really hope I'm getting this. Oh. So as you can see, I got the wires tinned. I always like to make sure you don't want to go over, so I'm just going to cut that. This shitty job tinning, but it should be fine. I'm going to cut this. So as you can see, tins, soldered. So now, I got a benchtop power supply. I'm just gonna strip these ever so slightly. Okay. And we're gonna set our set point to 5 volts. 5 volts precisely. And that 5 volts exactly, okay? I got no current draw. This is the lock button, so I'm gonna push lock. As you can see, it's working. It's not really pulling any current, but it is working. I'm getting voltage, so now I'm gonna disconnect my power. Because remember, I am connecting 5 volts. Battery is 6. The reason why I tested it like that was locked, yes. The reason why I tested it with lock is because my van's parked over here. Chances are it didn't reach, but you don't know. Because I don't trust people. I want to make sure. Okay, so. Now we go over here to this side. We're going to do this bottom button. And honestly, I think the best way to do this is, I'm going to solder it exactly from one end to the other, but I don't quite remember. Get your meter. Just double verify. I think this battery's low on this meter. Yeah, so it was top to bottom basically is what you need to do. So once again, strip the wire. Make sure you have a pair of wire strippers. Not using a pair of wire cutters like I am. But anybody that works with tools and has coworkers knows that this stuff ain't going missing half the time. Alright, so I had to pause the video. Now there are 2 things you can do here. We're gonna tin. Oops. Sorry, hold on. These other YouTubers actually have cameras. Or cell phone cameras that hold better. My phone is messed up. Or my case is messed up. But it works. You could remove these. Especially if it's for anti-theft. But if you remove them, I mean, it's up to you. You have test points on here. My meter just died, but I'd rather keep the remote in somewhat working order. If I ever want to just pop it off and use it as a remote, I can. So, whatever, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go top to bottom like I said I was. You should keep in mind that these things are made in China. They use a lead-free solder. Lead-free doesn't heat up very well, like the stuff here. So just keep that in mind. If you have to crank up your temperature, like I did, it makes it a lot easier. So I'm just going to blob some solder on the corner right here. Now I'm gonna blob some solder on. I'm gonna do it on this side because there's a resistor there, and if you see, I did a blob on both sides. See that blob? See that blob? I can go a little bigger on the blob. You don't want to put too much, but you don't want to overheat it either. So now I got 2 fat blobs there. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna truncate these just a little bit or shorten them. And then I'm just gonna pop this on here. So we owned it in the last video, which was last night, and I'm pretty sure I'm good. And we're gonna do this one right here. Now you can also do this with your stock remote, but remember, you are kind of giving up your stock alarm remote. You can do this with pretty much any remote, it's the same shit. And then what I'm going to do is I don't. Okay, well I'm gonna test it right now, but once again I got my van out there, so I'm gonna have to actually walk over to it and make sure it's locked. Too bad this thing's not installed because I could just lock it, make sure it's locked from my phone. You know what? I just thought of something. I'm gonna pause this, but I'm gonna move it to the locked, and I'm also gonna do an unlocked. Because that way I know what I'm doing. The thing about this, you're either unlocking or locking. And I don't like that idea. So, give me a minute. You already saw what I did here. So we're just going to let it be. But yeah. Okay, so I went ahead and did this. Okay, see how I did it? So yellow is locked, green is unlocked. It's a kind of last minute change in plan, but it makes the most sense. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this electrical tape because this is going to be hanging around inside the van. I'm going to wrap it up really nicely here. I'm going to keep the LED on the top visible. And I always like to put a little tension on it, so you kind of want to stretch that tape out a little bit, like I am right here. That way it holds better. And then I'm going to bundle the wires right here. If there's any kind of pull, and now what I'm going to do, because yellow and green are all going to the same area, I like to keep those separate from the red and black because those are going to the power. And it'll actually come in handy to keep them in one harness type thing versus just the wire. It doesn't matter, you don't have to do this, but this is just kind of the look I want for it, I guess. So I'm just wrapping up my wires. No, the tape's not going to come out. So it just kind of gives it, it keeps them together and keeps them separate. Kind of like your regular twisted pair wire if you actually work with Cat5. Because these are all going to that Sonoff relay module. And once I get this done, I wrapped this up earlier because I thought I was going to use yellow wire, and I didn't want to mix up lock and unlock wires, but it turned out I had green. I had another box. So, pretty much I'm going to go as far as I can get it. I'm going to give myself about that much play. And then I'm just going to kind of flip it right here. So that way there's a nice little wart at the end there. This is your antenna. Once again, I'm going to wrap this up in electrical tape too. I got 5 volts. I got 5 volts exactly. Now keep in mind, my voltage regulator is probably putting about 5.5. Battery voltage is 6. Well, the 2 batteries this one's taking. If you have questions, always post a comment. Because you probably will if you haven't done this. So there's that, okay. Locked. See that? I mean, I don't know if you can. I'm just gonna touch these 2 real quick. It's the same thing as me pushing the button. Right, yeah. See? It just sent a lock. And then that's the same thing's gonna happen with the green. So, yeah, and that's it. That's how you do it. Now I'm gonna show you the install part, which is easy, because I already have everything there. Okay. So, I'm gonna show you. This is how I already have it set up on my audio wall. I already kind of fastened this down, and then I realized I'm supposed to finish this video. So, I'm going to finish 100% here now. I'll show you. Right now, number 2 is my lights. I have it connected to the internal lights, as you can see. Alright, so check this out. This switch and this switch right here should be in the left position on the 1. This is the timing. I think I have it at a 1/4 second or 1/2 second. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is down. And then I want an inching, quote unquote, or I call it momentary. I have number 1. See a light clicked on, turned off. 2, that's number 3. And number 4. Originally I was going to just do number 1, but we're not going to do that anymore. We're doing 2 and 3. And then number 1, I'm going to actually put back. Now you need a very tiny pin. I'm using my bottle opener on my Swiss Army knife. You have to reset the power once you do this, though. Hold on, let me... When you reset the power, you just gotta unplug it. Yes, the lights do go out when you unplug it. Once you plug it back in, you can go ahead and turn the lights back on. I'm gonna put 2 of the screws down. So now that I have that connected, you're going to put the screws back in. Let's make sure you got your buttons lined up, and make sure the casing, being a square, is lined up. I'll just do these 2. Now. Now, if you look, this thing right here, oops, let me see that. It's a car audio 5-volt thing. I got it going into this mess, but you got plus and minus up to 3 amps out of this thing. It's also running the TP-Link switch. This turns on my horn. But I'm pretty much going to just do that is 5, and then yellow is the ground. So I'm going to connect it right there. I don't need to get my meter or nothing, but in your case, you probably won't have this set up. Yeah, you probably won't have it set up like I do. I'll let you figure that part out, but this thing will do up to 14.4. I mean, I think I pushed up to 16 volts and it was fine. Or it was more like 15.9. Oh, wait. Before I even do that, I'm sorry. I also have to keep I got my earbuds in, so can't hear anything. And then also it kind of hinders my thought process. Come back over here. Gotta look at the relays. You want normally open. So we're gonna do normally open and common, normally open, common. Essentially, it's gonna be the two right ones per channel. So you'll see me connected. You already see the lights connected. They're daisy chained there. See, this one will just stay on, but I don't remember which one's which. I personally don't care. I'll figure it out when I actually run the test. It doesn't matter which wire goes in what hole, because all this is doing is it's touching the two wires for you. So just make sure you insert them all the way, ensuring a good contact. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the yellow wire. If I recall correctly, yellow is lock and green is unlock. So now I'm connected there. This module, I don't know what I want to do with it yet, but what I'd like to do, I mean, obviously we're going to go right here. And then this is going to go on your ground. Okay, here we go. I really hope I'm not blind. So, ground. Is life worth living? Should I blast myself? And then, plus 5. Okay. I'll take my earbuds out. Oh, I don't got power. I turned my breakers off. Ah. Okay, there it goes. I probably have a bad connection. I think I just logged. I don't know. Oh yeah, I just unlocked. So, yes, unlock. And then this one's lock. And that's it. It works. I just gotta clean up the mess. So, I'm gonna give you a close-up of this. That's all I did. So, you good there?